Hello everybody, welcome to end of day update. I'm traveling for next 3 days until Friday, so I'm posting a video right now because I have to leave soon, and I'm not sure if I will be able to post a daily end of day update, but I should be able to post one update during the day for my subscribers, and I will try my best if I can post daily videos, but if not, then just keep the levels we discuss in the picture and then make a decision based on that. So let's quickly review it using daily chart, and let's go to Bitcoin, and let's see what's happening on the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin looks like it's about to break this trend line. You can see this trend line which it's holding for a while. Now looks like it's not that impulsive. That's the only thing which is bothering me. So this could be a fake out move before we start the next pump higher, but keep an eye on this trend line. And one other thing I wanted to show you is even we're going lower, but there's a divergence. You can see here still this is a new low made, and you can see compared to previous lows, still on 1 hour chart we have some bullish divergence on PPO and RSI. And let's quickly zoom in into this. You can see green line is about to touch red line, which is usually a bearish sign, but it hasn't crossed yet, so there is still hope. And let's see, by end of day there's still I think 4 hours left for Bitcoin live market to close. We'll see what happens. I did see a red dot printed right now, but this can be reversed if you get a massive reversal before the end of day. I will keep you guys posted, but so far we need to be back on this trend line. So Bitcoin bulls need to bring it back to this trend line to be bullish again. But again, this is not a big red candle like this, or let's see, like this. Like I want to see this. This looks like a fake out move. Okay, so this could be a stop rate before we trying to trick everybody before we get a massive reversal. So keep a lookout for that. Okay, and same thing for Ethereum. It's down right on this trend line. So Ethereum is telling me this is still right on support, still on support. You can see support. So there is possible Ethereum is telling me a mixed message. Ethereum is still on hold on support, and Bitcoin is slightly below support. So I still think this possibility will see a reversal soon. And then also there's also a bit of other possibility. If I draw this line a bit like this, you can see something like this. You can see there's another support line. So if I just adjust this a little bit, you can still see we are still on support. So I'm going to go with this for now. I will say Bitcoin is still on support. So take this opportunity. You want to buy on support. You don't want to buy when it's already a breaking out and it's right here. Okay, you don't want to buy here. You want to buy here when people don't want to buy. And this is looking good. And also if I go to short-term chart, like a 1 minute chart, you can see here it's now just we got this candle like just like a couple of minutes ago, a big down candle below third standard deviation. This is exactly where you want to buy Bitcoin. Okay, this is very good time. I think we're going to bounce very soon. And in my opinion, Bitcoin is looking really good for a bounce. Okay, so that's on Bitcoin. And S&P 500 this afternoon, I gave an update to my subscribers. I told them, guys, the only thing which is bothering me on SPY is this gap here. If I go to 1 hour chart, I told them that, guys, there is this gap around 443 which is not filled, and this is exactly what they did last hour. They filled the gap, so I am now very happy. I'm satisfied. So we can delete this gap, and we know now there is basically no gap here. So basically this gap is fully filled, and now although we are breaking slightly below gap, you can see this trend line is about to break. But this is again like Bitcoin, not impulsive. I think we are ready for a rally, and this is where a big support is as well. You can see here, if I draw a rectangle here, you can see right where we have a lot of support here. So S&P 500 is also right on support, and all other major indices also support. Gap is also filled. I think we are due for a rally to at least fill this Fitch gap, which was downgrade. And today's price action is down because of another Fitch agency warning that they're going to downgrade banks. This is just bullshit in my opinion. So you should be looking to buy this dip, okay? And I think a massive rally is due anytime. And also other thing, if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see still having divergence. You can see prices going lower from here. Even on RSI and PPO, we still have higher momentum, okay? Same thing on triple Qs. Actually, let's go to futures. You can see futures chart, same thing, keep going down. This is live futures, and you can see still higher momentum on PPO, and same thing on RSI. Let me find the right tool here. You can see same thing is happening here. So higher momentum on RSI as well. So I think this is all indication of a massive rally is due. We're building momentum, and maybe there will be a news very soon. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a massive upside. Same thing on Nasdaq. You can see higher momentum on PPO. You can see here RSI is also same thing. Triple Qs, which is cash market. You can see we're making new lows. Again, same scenario, same story here on higher momentum, and there are no gaps on triple Qs on the downside. Although there is this gap a bit far away, but the trend line is really far. I think we're gonna have a rally before we go down later on. This is what my projection is: get a rally, fill this gap, and then come down. Okay, so nothing changed on that. And let's quickly look at Dow Jones. This is industrial sector. You can see this gap was filled. If we go to 1 hour chart, you can see how nicely these gaps are filled, but now we opened a gap up, so this gap will also be filled later on. But for now, this is the gap on up, which is very good sign. You can see this gap is filled here. Now there's another small gap here, another small gap here, but we know no matter what happens, these gaps will be filled. Again, same thing on triple Qs. No matter how down we go, we know we eventually will fill this two gap. Even on SPY, no matter how low we go, we know we will eventually fill this gap. So I'm not worried at all on this dip. Actually, you should take this dip as a buying opportunity. All right, and let's quickly review IWM, which is also small caps. You can see IWM have gap down, and so that's a good sign that we will have this gap filled eventually. So you should be looking to buy this opportunity. And you can see again, I don't see any divergence on PPO, RSI, a little bit of divergence, but I don't see any divergence on PPO, but it will do mainly same as other sectors. So again, IWM looking for a bounce very soon. I don't think the bounce will be as big as on SPY, probably lower high before we go and touch this trend line. Okay, and let's look at gold. Gold is again, maybe it will make a double bottom, I don't know. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Looks like gold is keep going down with very high momentum. So this is telling me this is like a fake out move, and we are due for a massive rally. I've been saying that for last couple of days. Gold miners are selling heavily, and today I told my subscribers, you can go to 1 hour chart. There is this gap here, this massive gap which was not filled. So looks like they want to try to fill this gap. Let's see. You can see they came all the way here. Still that gap is not filled. So maybe we'll see by days almost end. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a quick dump and then recovery fast. And the reason why I'm saying there is still hope, because I still see on daily chart divergences are happening. Price going lower with higher momentum on PPO and RSI. Even on 1 hour chart, you can see PPO, you can see divergency. RSI not showing it, but one of the indicators is showing divergence. So I think we just have to be patient. Okay, and you can look at all these gaps to the upside. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and from here, from today's close to the gap to the top, it's almost 15% upside. Okay, so these gaps will be filled. You just got to be very patient. And let's quickly look at other ones. Let's look at silver. You can see silver nicely touched this trend line, now bounce. So silver is telling me we bottomed and we're ready for a bounce. So take that as an indication. Natural gas, you can see right back on this trend line, right touching it here. And if you go to 1 minute chart, it is in the buy zone. You can see here one very nicely buy zone here. Gold is also in the buy, and a little bit higher, but gold miners are in the buy zone. And triple Qs just bouncing now. And you can see US 500, this is also in the buy zone. US 100 just touching and above buy zone. Dow Jones is in the buy zone, and Russell is also in the buy zone right now. Again, natural gas, very good time to buy. Crude oil is getting in the buy zone again. So let's quickly look at daily chart here. You can see crude oil, it's by the dip, so looking for this dip to be bought before bouncing higher. This sector here, which is Canadian sector, this gap was filled almost. Let's see, it's still a little bit of gap left, slightly the gap left. You can see how nicely these gaps are filled. Now all these upside gaps are there. XIC is the ETF if you want to buy Canadian stocks, Canadian index. So all these gaps will be filled, so we can bounce anytime. Hang Seng index also going lower than I anticipated. Let's go to 1 hour chart and see if there's any divergence. You can see a little bit of divergence are developing. Higher momentum on RSI and PPO. You can see here. So that means price is going lower with higher momentum is developing here, and Bitcoin already covered. Dollar, let's go to daily chart and check dollar. You can see dollar, this is exactly where I expect dollar to fail. And let's see, this is just playing games, and I expect it to dump very soon. Bonds making a new low with, again, momentum is higher here. You can see bullish momentum on PPO and RSI. I think a bounce will come very soon. Copper is on the right where it should be bought, and because US dollar is still green, copper is a bit weak, commodities are weak, and wheat is right on the trend line. This is where you can see it had a new high and a new low, but this is back testing it. So also this is also a support area here. So wheat is like very weak right now, but when it bounces very, very fast. So this is the whole area of support right there. And also on this trend line, back testing this trend line before it goes higher. Corn again looking weak, which is not a good sign, but again, you can see these divergences are telling me that we are due for a reversal. I just don't know when, but all these things are telling me that we'll have and also there are multiple gaps on corn. So you just got to be patient in this market. It's just testing patience, and when things are red, you think everything is falling, this is the right time to buy. You can see soybeans, sugar struggling now, coming closer to resistance. We'll see if it can cross it. Newmont Mine, biggest gold miner, right on support, down almost 2.5%. You can see right where you want to be buying it, and these are great opportunities. XLK, good time to buy. Look to buy it. XLE, close some gaps. Let's quickly go to 1 hour chart. You can see these gaps are closed all the time. So XLK, you can see market just closed. XLV, there are no gaps. So let's go to daily chart. You can see XLV should be going for a new high. XLU utility sector gap down, massive sell-off, but still on divergence. You can see higher momentum on PPO and RSI. Industrial stocks, looks like gaps are getting closed. So you can see these gaps, how nicely these are closed. So you can delete this. And now there are multiple gaps to the upside. XLRE, real estate sector, another gap down. So it can come down to this trend line, but there are multiple gaps telling me we are due for a rally. Financials was the weakest. Again, you can see how these gaps are filled all the time. This gap is also filled here. So you can delete this gap too. And now there are upper gaps here. So there's another massive gap here. I don't know if you're going to go there first. I think we will rally, fill this gap, then come down later on. KRE, gap down, and then there's another gap. Maybe we'll come all the way down or we'll rally. We'll see very, very soon. I think we're due for a big rally because all these divergences are telling me we're ready for a rally. It's Tesla again going down. There's another gap here around 221. Is it wanna come fill that gap? I don't know. Gap down, another gap down, another gap up here. So again, still a bit far away from trend line. Looks like it wants to come and touch 221. That will be where the trend line will be. So I think we might go a little bit lower on Tesla before we go higher. That's what I think it looks like for now. Netflix, again, looking for a pump, flat today, a little bit down today. Google just making a flag. Microsoft, right on this trend line. Also, there's a gap down. Maybe there's a gap around 315. Maybe we'll fill that gap before we bounce. We'll see. Meta, just holding in here. Let's see if a gap fills before we go down. I think I'm looking for a back test of this trend line. Apple down 1%. There's another gap here. I think this gap will be filled. 175.69 is what I'm looking for it to fill before bounce. Amazon, massive gap. I don't think it's going to fill first. Probably we're going to bounce and then come down. Snowflake's earnings are closed. We'll see. Maybe near earnings we'll fill this gap. I'm not sure. NVDA, another 0.4% up. And on NVDA, there was a gap which was closed today. You can see this gap was closed. This gap was here on Tuesday, last Tuesday. Now it closed it. Now there's another gap. So maybe it will pump again. We'll see. AMD, just doing nothing here, just sitting in the middle. So those are the main sectors. And then let's quickly look at VIX, up 10%. Still, this gap is not filled, which is a good sign. To be honest, I like this because I know this will eventually dump and fill this gap. So we are due for a massive rally on sectors. So that will help VIX go down. So this gap should be filled. So let's quickly look at zones for tomorrow. And you can see US 500 closed right on the buy zone right here. And gold miners, let me add extended trading hours here so we can see the zones. You can US 100, NASDAQ very close to buy zone, around 15,499. Dow Jones close to buy zone, US 2000. So these zones are basically for tomorrow, quick trades for quick day trading. Gold is in the very close to buy zone. 1897 is where. Also on gold, I want to show you something. If I go to daily chart, if I hide these, you can see there's another gap here around 1870. I don't know if they want to bring gold all the way there before bounce. That's going to be another 1.5%. So I'm not sure, but let's see. But I think short term, because of divergences, we are due for a massive rally. Gold miner near second standard deviation, good time to buy. Triple Qs near buy zone, but not at the buy zone. Silver is in the middle. Already checked, gave you levels for natural gas, oil, Toronto Stock Exchange below third standard deviation. Looks like this gap is filled, so I can delete this. And Hang Seng Index also in the buy zone. Bitcoin near third standard deviation, good time to buy. Ethereum also good time to buy. And copper, good time to buy. Wheat, good time to buy. Corn, good time to buy. Soya beans, good time to buy. Sugar, a little bit higher. Let's quickly look at any stocks. Sectors, XLK now bouncing. XLE right in the buy zone. Healthcare, ignore that. Utilities in the buy zone, second standard deviation. Industrial in the buy zone. Real estate sector in the buy zone. Financials in the buy zone. KRE, regional bank in the buy zone. Tesla in the buy zone. Netflix still away. Google still away. Microsoft in the middle. Meta in the middle. Apple in the middle. Amazon in the middle. So let's quickly look at what stocks sold. Snowflake's near buy zone. Let's quickly look at stocks which sold. AMD away. Intel is still higher. ARKK in the buy zone. Shopify higher. PayPal in the buy zone. CRM away. IBM away. Cisco away. Disney is in the buy zone. UPS in the buy zone. McDonald away. Home Depot away. Nike in the buy zone. Honeywell away. Boeing in the buy zone. MasterCard is away. Visa is away. Procter & Gamble in the buy zone. Starbucks near buy zone. Uber away. Verizon away. TELUS in the buy zone. BCE, Bell is in the buy zone. Costco is away. Walmart is away. Coca-Cola is in the buy zone. BRK in the buy zone. UNH away. ABBV away. CVS in the buy zone. PFE in the buy zone. Let's look at Chinese sectors. MCHI below third standard deviation. Good time to buy. Alibaba in the buy zone. Baidu is in the buy zone. And all the banks are in the buy zone. Bank of Montreal, Canadian banks, Royal Bank in the buy zone, TD is in the buy zone, BNS in the buy zone, CM in the buy zone, National Bank in the buy zone, and all the American banks also. JP Morgan in the buy zone, Citigroup in the buy zone, Goldman Sachs in the buy zone, Bank of America is also in the buy zone. Let's look at growth stocks. So let's look at NEO. NEO is in the buy zone. Lucid bouncing a little bit in the buy from the buy zone. Riot in the buy zone. Square in the buy zone. TTD in the buy zone. SE massive dump after earnings, stay away. AEHR in the buy zone. Plug is in the buy zone. Palantir still away. Target in the buy zone, and Zoom is also in the buy zone. Alright guys, if you are still here, please hit the like button on your way out. And I did share a pre-market video today. If you want to know before market opens what are the levels, you can subscribe. It only takes $7 a month, and also I will be replying to all your comments, all questions, all stocks you want me to add to the list. I can do that, and on one trade you can make money for the whole subscription fees, so it's very cheap. And if you don't like it, you can cancel next month. All right guys, have a good one, and I will see you later. Bye.